Richard Ortega, U.S. Marine Corps. I was an E5, a sergeant. I joined in 1965, and I got out in 1968. I was going to be drafted in the Army, and I didn't have any intentions of going to the Army, so I ran down to the Marine Corps and enlisted. And besides that, I needed somebody to straighten my life out. My dad was a Marine, and I needed discipline. And at that time in '65, the Marine Corps, they were tough. In time of conflict, like I was in Vietnam, time of conflict, you have to face everything, be ready for everything, and definitely trust on your fellow Marine. Mm-hmm. So, no time to be soft. You know, I think of, my dad was a Marine. My family has served in the military very honorably. My grandmother in Douglas, boy, she was one of the main members at the American Legion in Douglas because I had, let's see, 3 uncles besides my dad who served in the Army. My dad was in the Marine, but he got a medical discharge. At this time, I have, besides myself, my son, or my daughter, was in the Navy right after high school. My son, well, we call him Richie, everybody knows him as Richard. Richie, he retired from the Air Force after 24 years. I have a couple grandkids that are in the Army also. Our family has served our country. When I got off the bus, stood on those yellow footprints for basic, and they came up and they asked me, Ortega, you kick ass? And I told them if I have to, okay, you're a squad leader. I got my first stripe out of basic because I would, I'm sorry, that was me. Basic was 13 weeks long when I got there, and then the draft started, and we used to call them the 8-week wonders because actually that's when NAM was going, and they actually got out of basic before we did because we were there for 13 weeks. After I got out, thank God, I was fortunate. They sent me to Hawaii to a Navy ammunition depot. So I was there for right about a year, and again, the Marine Corps took care of you. They sent me right to Vietnam to get me, anyway. They just got me out of Hawaii and sent me to Nam, which was good. Vietnam and the Marine Corps straightened my life out and me out. It made me, whoever I am now. My wife and I, we got married when I still had 6 months to do. I was already back from Vietnam. We got married in Flagstaff, February 3rd, 1968. We lived in Dana Point for the rest of my time at Pendleton. And those were probably the best years of our life because we didn't have 2 nickels. We were dumb, we didn't know anything, and and it was just beautiful. I was almost deployed back to Nam from Pendleton. They had all of us out in the parade field, ready to deploy us because they needed us over there. And before they load us up in the bus, it was called off. My wife wouldn't even have known we were going. Yeah, but it was called off. So this is kind of interesting. In Nam, when I was there, when I joined, we were still using the M14 rifles, okay? Then they introduced the M16s. They were new, automatic, lightweight, but jammed. Sand, they were so fine. Sand and all this would jam the damn thing. And that's why when you see old pictures, you'd see on their helmet, if you're lucky to get a piece of rubber, you could have your oil and your bug repellent. And that oil was to keep your rifle clean. I don't remember coming home. I remember my flight home. I have no idea where we landed or anything like that, because we were not liked. We weren't liked at all. I didn't talk to my family about this for like 25 years. It just took years for it to heal. It took, well, I know with me at least 25 or more before I could even talk about it. I still don't know where I landed. I don't know if it's Treasure Island, how I got back to Pendleton, no idea. It took me a while to get used to the idea that finally being acknowledged. I'm on the honor guard. We have our uniform that we wear. We have our rifles, which fire blanks, and we have a ceremony that salutes, that honors the veteran. If they have a coffin and it's draped with the flag, chaplain has his part. We have the commander and sergeant at arms has their part. If the flag is draped over the coffin, it's folded and given to the mother or the senior family member, given to them folded. Do a 3 volley at the same time. There's a bugler, and it has been at times that maybe there'll be 2 bugles, and this is beautiful. One will play taps, and then on the distance, another one will kind of echo the taps. And I tell you what, I don't care who, it's touching. It is touching. We have the American flag, their service flag, the Arizona flag, the POW flag, and for sure we always make sure we have their branch flag. But because sometimes it's hot, and we're out there no matter what. Come rain or snow, we've been out there some of the worst weather you can think of. To me, God, family, and country. Those are the 3 things that we should stand for. I hang my flag out on holidays. I don't leave it out all the time, but I choose to put it up at 8, take it down at sunset. And how many people know that 8 o'clock you raise the flag? Sunset, you take your flag down. Just God bless our country. Pray for our troops. We need them. Pray for our government. And respect our country and your flag. And let's pray for our country and our enemies too. Thank you and good night.